Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Inside Monster Jam, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan. My guest this week just won his 5th straight Monster Jam Series championship on the Freestyle Mania Championship Series. So let's fire up the Zenny Optical Hotline and go to North Carolina and welcome in the man, Gravediggers, Weston Anderson. Weston, welcome back to Inside Monster Jam. Congratulations on your 5th series win.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's always good being back on here. What was it? 365 days ago we were on this sucker, and now here we are back again. 5 back to back. Holy smokes! I don't know what to say about it. I'm gonna make you do all the talking on this.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. I always tell everybody that not only do you get an automatic bid to Monster Jam World Finals when you win your series, but you get an automatic guest spot on Inside Monster Jam. So it's like you get the big prize, and then you also get the little prize to come on my show again. Let's talk about that, man, because you continue to break that glass ceiling. You continue to make history with every championship win. No rookie had ever won a championship series. No one had ever won 2, 3, 4. Now 5 to start a career. That is an unbelievable accomplishment and a record that may never be broken. Do you know the importance of what you're doing, or for you, is it just business as usual?
No, I've realized now after series championship to series championship to series championship, 5 over. It's a big deal, man. It is a big deal, and whenever we're out there, we're running on the road, we're doing all of these events. You kind of get a little bit lost in the sauce whenever you do 60 events back to back for 20 weeks straight. And I still don't feel like it's really set in truly what we've done yet until I got back home and I got to set eyes on my whole family and them congratulating me, and my dad, man, him crying and hugging me. That right there really kind of sunk it in and showed me how big it was what we did. It's been something that I've been pushing for my whole life, to drive a monster truck, obviously. Gravedigger at that as well. And I came in my rookie season, and I had never really touched a monster truck. I had been in the mega trucks, and that's a completely different world. That's a completely different racing style. But because of that background, because of me and my dad traveling around doing what we did for as long as we did, it definitely slungshot me. I feel like it gave me a little bit of an advantage coming in as that rookie. I knew how to handle the truck in situations. I knew how to control the truck within boundaries, and it kind of set me up for success. That, and I got stuck with the best of the best crew from the very beginning of my career. I've had the best technicians on my truck, and I can't thank Monster Jam enough for that. I think they know that we're going to go out there and tear some stuff up, but we're going to do some winning while we do that, and we need a good crew on our back, and we got one of the best right now.
You definitely came in as one of the highest profile rookies in Monster Jam history, but you backed it up from day one. And that's not an easy thing to do. When you are placed with lofty expectations in sports, a lot of times athletes fall short of meeting them, and rightfully so. But you literally walked through the door and hit a grand slam on your first weekend, man. So, 5 years later, do you feel that those expectations have been met, have been exceeded, or are you still setting expectations for yourself?
I'm still setting expectations for myself. There's the series championships. It takes a lot of grit to win one, but you also have so much time during that span to get that win. You have time to mess up. You have time to do very good, and I think the next one, the one that we all know what it is, Monster Jam World Finals. I think that's the next biggest step for me. Fingers crossed as always. Fingers crossed as always. And it's just going to take one of those times of having good luck at that event. It's gonna take that crazy freestyle that I'm hitting every single ramp and thinking maybe I'm not going to land it, and the truck's going to land. And I don't know if it's going to be this year, next year, 10 years from now. I say it every single time. I say it every time, and it's just a matter of time at this point. That's where I'm going towards. I really want to get that championship, the freestyle racing, whichever one it could be. But right now, you know what? These series championships, they're pretty fun. They're pretty fun to get up under your belt. And I definitely do feel like I have a big target on my back. I had a huge target on my back this year. You know, we had some of the greats: Brandon Telechka, Tony Oaks, Fernando Martinez, Chucky Pocken. He's a rookie, and he's doing stuff in that truck that I didn't even do my rookie season, and just shows how much Monster Jam has progressed in the past 5 years. And yeah, I don't. It was a tough season. It was a very tough season. They gave me a run for my money, and we didn't have that huge point gap like we usually did, and we kind of just picked it right up there, right at the very last second, and locked in that championship a few weeks prior to the end of tour.
Yeah, no, it was a little hard when you're not leading by 479 points. To yeah, you got to earn one. No, you were challenged this year, and I thought that was great. And we'll talk about World Finals because I have to ask you about it. So you and I have that thing back and forth. I always have to ask you if this is the year. I'm going to save that for a little bit later in the episode. I do. Your brother Ryan talked to me. He had a quote that was fascinating to me. He said that there are times that he's felt that winning a series championship meant more than winning a World Finals championship, just because, as you said, you have to grind for event after event after event. It's a culmination of many different weekends. And he said anyone can be great on one night. But you have to be great multiple nights to win the series. So, that grit that you have to display for a full season. Would you agree with that statement? I think they're both very important, but he said that they're just times. He just said there's times that he's felt that way.
100%, 100%. There's anybody can be a hero on one night, and you see that you see that in sports. You see that anywhere, man. You see it in all sorts of racing. You go out there, you watch a football game, someone throws a Hail Mary, and they win the Super Bowl for their team. That's they were good, but they were only good that one throw, that one play. If you wanna try and go back to back and try and keep that that achievement on your back, or wherever you want to keep throwing them trophies on your shelf back at home, you have to be great more than just that one time. You have to push yourself. You have to stay locked in with what you're doing over and over and over again. And that's something that we've became really good at. I'm very consistent whenever we're in the trucks, and that's what's inevitably gotten me the 5 series so far, is that consistency in the trucks and the consistency with my team, letting them know when the truck is messed up or what is going on with it, what it sounds like, if it's about to be broken, if we don't know if it's going to break it this event or the next event, but the transmission may be slipping a little bit. There's a lot more that goes into it than a lot of people do realize.
Now, did you have any type of relationship with Chucky Pocken? Because that seems like a natural partnership there. You talked about him. You're both second-generation drivers, sons of gravedigger legends. He's a high-profile rookie. You were a high-profile rookie. So what was that relationship like with you and him this year?
It was great, man. Chucky, he may be quiet whenever you first get to meet him, but once you get to know him, Little Chuck turns into Little Chuck. He's a prankster out on the road, man, and then you, even from going from behind the scenes, being friends with him, to out on the track, I hated racing with him because he was so fast. He's such a good driver racing. He was fast, two-wheel, he was combo, and he was throwing crazy combos, doing so good freestyle. He was trying to jump bigger than me, and then I had to go out there and one up and be in Gravedigger. And I'm extremely proud of Little Chuck, man, from where he came from the very first weekend to where he is now is tremendous growth. He's doing things in his truck that I couldn't do my rookie season. He's playing with the laws of physics. He's playing with the laws of physics in these trucks, just like his teammates, Little John and John Senior. Everybody on Send It Motorsports, man, they're killing it this year. And Little Chuck, he is already a force to be reckoned with. In his first season, he's going to be a problem in the future. But right now, I'm going to keep him on my side. We're buddies on and off the track, and I did some leaning on him this year. He did some leaning on me, and anytime that I could give him any advice, or anytime I could push him to go bigger, go harder, I would. because that's what makes you go harder. That's what makes you progress to the next step is stepping up and being the hero sometimes, or sometimes failing. And it was crazy. He went out there and he was the hero every time. He would go out there. I'd say, "Come on, Chuck, jump that truck bigger. Do this jump to that jump. Do a jump to a moonwalk." And he would just go out there and do it like a robot. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to deal with this guy now for the next 25, 30 years. And but
Yeah.
but I'm excited. It's gonna be great. I hope that maybe one day we could have a friendly rivalry on and off the track 20 years from now, and look back at his first season and go, "Holy smokes, dude! Look at where you're at now." He's gonna be a world champion. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Well, speaking of trucks, you got a new truck this year. Any growing pains for you when the season started to get your feet wet and sort of get your stuff dialed in there?
Absolutely, absolutely. There was a little bit of growing pain, and it was seen on all sides of the team, from the mechanical side to the driving side. Just trying to get used to a new truck. I drove the Gravedigger 37. I drove the wheels off that thing for 4 years, and it was a loose rig. It was a rig that could take just about anything you threw at it. And then we jumped in this brand new truck, Gravedigger 45, that being, and it was a very smooth rig, but it was a little too new at the very beginning. We had to get it broke in a little bit. So after a few crashes, after adding a few black bars into the thing, we got our feet up under us. We got our shock setting set right, and I kind of figured the truck out a little bit easier. I figured out the style I needed to drive in this new chassis, in this new truck, on a completely different tour that I was on from last year, as well as that, different tracks. And it took a little bit to get our feet up under us. But once we got the mechanical side figured out, shaking all the bugs out of the truck from it being a brand new build, and once we got it landing right and taking off, once it was right, we took off with it. We took off with it.
Let's talk about your Freestyle Mania Championship Series teammate, Noah Bakken. He, like you, a very high-profile rookie. But this, fans, if you have not checked out a Freestyle Mania Championship Series event, go to YouTube after you watch this show. Watch it. It is awesome. It combines the best of Monster Jam with the best of freestyle motocross, and you have this team format, and Team Gravedigger came out on top. But, Weston, you know, and we talked about this, the pressure of coming into Monster Jam as a rookie. Now you have this kid, Noah, who comes in, and he is now tasked with helping you win another series championship. And the kid just hit a home run. So talk about that relationship with him.
It was, honestly, and I'm glad that you touched that we were both rookies, being Gravedigger whenever we came in, because we kind of honestly, we started the same way in our rookie seasons, if that makes sense. We had a few weeks where it took us some time to get our feet up under us, but once we got our feet up under us, we took off running, man. We took off running. Noah, he was fresh back on the bike after being off of it for a long time, being off of it for a while, and he didn't feel quite as comfortable at the very beginning. And then once we got through that first weekend, he got to see what Freestyle Mania was, what the legacy was that he was riding for. We took off from there, man. He came up with a new trick called the Cliff Clicker, and that singular trick was the turning point for Team Gravedigger. We went from being number 2 on tour to being number 1, and being number 1 by a few points at that. And it's a crazy combination move. I'm not even going to spoil it for anybody yet. I want them to see it in person eventually one day, if they could ever see Noah Bakken ride, because he's a wild guy. He is. He throws moves that none of the other FMX riders were even wanting to try. And I really appreciated it, because it was getting us that number 1 spot every time, man. And if it wasn't for that one move, for Noah going out on a limb and saying, "Oh God, I need to pick it up here," we wouldn't have this series title under our belts right now. I think the ending would have been a little bit different. And it's crazy to see how much of a success story Noah is, from where he came from to where he is now, man. It's amazing. We're going in front of these sold out crowds, and he's killing it out there. He has people standing on their feet whenever he's done riding. And I would tell everybody every single weekend, if you don't know Noah Bakken, you're about to, because he's about to blow your minds away. And and I can't thank him enough. And even off of the track, that's where the real team bonding came into play. We go around a different city every single weekend on these Monster Jam tours, and we made the most of it. Every city that we went to, we had fun. We went out and we got to see new places, do new things, and Noah, me and Noah, we were always right there side by side. It was a very great friendship that we built up, and he's going to be a friend until the day I die. And yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about Mr. Noah Bacca himself.
I think this series challenged you a little bit more because of the team format, and you rose to the occasion. And I always say that when it comes to winning, whether it's in sports, in the playoffs, or winning a world championship, the battle-tested teams are the ones that rise to the occasion in the biggest spotlight. And I think this year you're going into World Finals a little more battle tested than you have been before. And I love your chances this year, man. You have gotten better every single World Finals. And I think this year you are, not that you weren't a contender before, but I think you are a true contender to win that first World Championship. So going into Salt Lake City, do you feel that Freestyle Mania has really elevated you as a competitor to compete for that world championship?
100%, man. It was a slugger from the beginning to the end, and I never thought it was going to end in a good way. That meant that the competition was great on our tour, and it was a big one. We had a lot of issues dealing with the new truck that we had to get through, and that's with any truck that you build. There's always going to be the lemons in there, and we took the lemons. We made lemonade. Chandler West is one of the baddest dudes on the wrenches, and I know the truck is going to be ready. I think I'm going to be ready. This year has really taught me a lot more than I thought it was going to, being with the people that I was with. Tony Oaks, Brianna Mahan, Fernando Martinez, Chucky Palkin, everybody was so fast in racing that I had to pick up my game in racing, and it was a turning point from me going from the spazzy side of my racing to throwing the truck in the corner and having my fingers crossed, hoping that I'm not going to hit the turn pole or flip over, to the calculated, smooth drifting through the corners. And the new truck feels really good for racing. I'm feeling really confident for racing and this year for some reason. And then the truck is going to be an absolute tank in freestyle. I think it's going to be good. There's been many times this year I've tried to crash the truck and I just couldn't, because it would keep landing back on the tires. and that's one of those aspects you need in that World Finals run, freestyle wise, to get the win. And you see Adam out there in his new Gravedigger truck. We're running the same chassis, and he's almost jumping out of the stadium every week. He's jumping so big, and he gets home. I'm like, dude, what does that feel like? He said, the truck is landing great. The truck is doing great. So I'm gonna probably piggyback off of my big brother a little bit. I'm gonna get some of his settings, just because we haven't been on those big floors yet. We haven't been jumping 40, 50 feet in the air with this truck yet. We've been jumping 25 foot in the air. So I'm gonna steal his shock settings for freestyle. But I'm feeling really good coming in this year, man. It's the team is feeling good. I think Noah Bakken is going to be out there cheering me on. Anytime I saw him on the sideline, it always lit an extra fire under me. It made me go extra hard. The whole team is going to be out there. I'm going to be reunited with my brothers and my sisters and all my friends, and that's going to push me. That's going to push me to the limit this year. I think I'm going big or going broke, and hey, whatever it is, it is. We're gonna walk out of there zero or a hero, and either way, I'm happy. We made it back again. That's all I needed to prove, is that we could make it back. We could win this series again, no matter what tour it's on, no matter where we're going. We're gonna be a we're gonna be a we're gonna be a force to be reckoned with until the very end.
I think there's some marketing ideas there. Your sister has blonde to the bone. You could just be going big or going broke, Weston Anderson. I can see the t-shirts right now.
Exactly.
Well, listen, man, congratulations on another series championship. Well deserved, and can't wait to see what you do in Salt Lake City.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. All I could say is everybody better be ready. It's gonna be big, and hopefully we're walking out of there with some hardware this year. I know I said it last year, may have jinxed myself, but hey, we're gonna win this thing this year. Fingers
Well, there you
crossed.
go. The gauntlet has been thrown down. If you want to see Weston Anderson try for a world championship, get your tickets to Salt Lake City at monsterjam.com. That is your Freestyle Mania Championship Series champion, Gravediggers Weston Anderson. That's all the time we have from the Monster Jam studio. I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for watching Inside Monster Jam, the official Monster Jam podcast.